Hey, what's up? This is just gonna be a quick video. The first thing I wanted to announce is I got some people interested in me getting One Piece Muso. My friend Swillow. I should all be subscribed to him, by the way, like I said before. He has the game, and I can bum it off his account. So I'm gonna be covering that at least for a little while. I don't know if it's gonna click with me. Gundam didn't really didn't really click with me that much. I didn't really enjoy the game enough to play continuously, but we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, I wanted to give my thoughts on Sengoku Basara 4. As you can see here, it's been about 6 months since the game came out. That's a long time in video game years, especially these days with the advent of the internet. So I thought I would give some constructive thoughts, a little mini review on the game. Uh, no one really cares about the game anymore. There's no really real views to be had in it, so I don't really feel like cutting together a really professional video like I have in the past. But I would just like to say I enjoyed the game. I thought it was a pretty significant improvement over the third one in some ways. There were some things they definitely screwed up, but I think it was a pretty respectable sequel. For the fourth game in the series, they actually did change the combat up quite a bit. As you know, Samurai Warriors 4 came out about 2 months, a little under 2 months after this came out, and you already know I didn't really care for that game that much. The gameplay mechanics they added in Basara 4, they felt pretty natural. They felt like they fit. They felt like they're, like most good mechanics. You play an MMO and they add all this crazy shit, and you wonder why wasn't it in the game in the first place. That's kind of how the mechanics were in Basara 4. But they were such good mechanics, such good changes that you didn't really mind that much. As you know, the main things that they added in Basara 4 was they added the ability to use all three super skills at once. I think that was a really good feature. There were plenty of characters where you had to pretty much sit at the camp screen and think long and hard which one you wanted to bring into your battle because some characters, all three of them are really good. Some of them had like two that were shitty, so there was no decision involved. But being able to switch was really nice. They also added the stylish time, the stylish mode, which is considerably nerfed from hero time. I guess they wanted to keep that shit under control because you may remember my videos of Vanilla Basara 3, Ieyasu running a lap around Sekigahara Intrusion for like 10 minutes straight, killing the whole map like without getting hit once. It is nerfed, but I like its integration. I like the Giga Basaras. They're pretty cool. They're very stylish looking, which is the whole point of playing Basara. They also added the tag feature. The tag feature is vastly improved over the Utage. I know a lot of you only played vanilla SB3 because that was the only one that was localized, but the tag system in that, it was nice, but there was a very long pause between switching, especially if you come from something like Orochi, where the tags have always been pretty much seamless, so the character comes out instantly and attacks, there's no wait. In Basara 3 Utage, there was a very significant wait between tagging. Like the game literally froze and your character would jump in. You could still do combos and stuff, but it was hard to get a flow going, especially coming from someone like me who spent hundreds of hours in the Orochi games. Each one of them, I put at least probably like 200 hours into them. They vastly changed that. They improved it for the better in Basara 4. It is very seamless. You can do some pretty crazy shit. Unfortunately, I kind of got burnt out on the game, so I never got around to making that combo video. But I did do some themed teams, and I showed some of the potential of that tag combo system. I'm sure once I kind of get rid of all the wear and tear, all the burnt out feelings I have towards the game, I'd like to get back to that. They also added the inscription feature, which is basically weapon fusion. Uh, I hate to bring up Samurai Warriors 4 again, but that game came out 2 months after this game did, and that game has no weapon fusion, only 6 weapon slots. You had no control over anything. Whereas Basara 4, considering it was their first outing with any kind of weapon customization, besides the items that have been in the last 3 games, I think it's pretty good. Having to reset for the green inscriptions is definitely an annoyance. Like I mentioned when I was on vacation, if you use the rarer inscriptions to farm for the green ones, like the chance is increased, but it's still RNG. I don't really like that aspect of it. But if you don't care about completely like maximizing your character, you have a pretty nice amount of customization. I also like how the skins, the weapons are basically just skins. You can customize them anywhere you want. You don't get situations like Vanilla Orochi 2 where, you know, you have characters, their ultimate strongest weapon is a fucking joke weapon. There's nothing like that in this game. You know, if you like to roll with the most powerful looking weapon skin, you can. If you like the first weapon, you can. I really like that feature. I think it's pretty welcome. Some of the weapon designs look just ridiculous, or they're too big, or they obstruct your character. Being able to have that choice is pretty cool. I think they did a pretty good job with it. Ideally, if the expansion ever does come out, uh, we'll probably hear something about that in the next couple months. The 10-year anniversary is coming up. I would like it if they just made it so that you could just buy the damn green inscriptions. You get money on a silver platter in that game, even if you don't use the various farming techniques that people have uploaded videos of on here. You get a lot of money and not a whole lot to spend it on. Um, the playbooks are pretty cool. They're basically like in-game mods or modifiers, mutators. If you ever played like old school stuff like Unreal Tournament, I think it's really cool. The only thing that I don't like about it is you have to keep buying them. It's not like just like a mod that you can turn on. Like if you're playing like Unreal Tournament, you know, you could turn on like Instagib or something like that. You have to keep buying the books constantly. Sometimes they're very expensive. There are like virtual Steam sales in the game where a certain category is on sale, but it just gets annoying. Sometimes you feel like you don't want to have them on at all because of how expensive they are. I would like that feature to be fleshed out a little more, and maybe just make it so it's just a permanent feature that you can enable or disable. I notice a lot of people, I've watched some other people play the game, and a lot of people don't use them at all. Seems like their main use is, you know, to abuse them for farming currency or experience, which I don't think that's what they had in mind. I think they wanted people to change the way they play the game, but just the annoyance of having to buy them and how expensive they are just kind of doesn't really motivate you to even bother with the mechanic. The new characters, I really like the new characters. They fit in really well. Uh, as you may know, if you're not a Basara fan, one of the biggest reasons you play these games is not just because of the stylish, really fluid combat. You play them for the characters. The characters are all unique from the start. There are no clone characters in this series. There are no reskins or anything. Everybody's unique from the start. And ever since Basara 3, the last two games, they've made everyone have a really unique perk or trait that changes how you play them. They play completely differently. I played all of the new characters extensively except Shikanosuke and Matabe. I didn't really care for those two that much, but even they fit in pretty well. They just fell a little unfinished. All the new characters, even the revived ones like Nagamasa and Hideyoshi, they made sure they all had a really unique gimmick that makes sure that you can't really master the characters in 10 minutes. In a lot of these Muso games, that tends to be a problem. The characters just aren't very complex. You can theoretically, you know, master them just playing them a couple times. Whereas in Basara, everybody's got a unique perk, a very unique trait that you have to master. Some of them are harder than others. Nagamasa, for example, mastering the just frames to have his PMS, like Super Sentai mode, on all the time is super difficult, whereas characters like Katsuie, you can pretty much just mash the dodge button and stay in level 3 spinny mode like the entire map. The balance is a little off. I think they could have improved that a little bit, but all the new characters were great. I really liked all their play styles. Being able to choose all three super skills from the get-go was a nice little, you know, motivator to play them. Sakon was my favorite, of course, but I liked all the new characters. Hideyoshi with his chain grab was really cool too. Um, they fit in really well. They feel like they've been around the whole time when they've only been in one game, which in a game like Basara, where everyone is so diverse, I think that's really important. The stages are probably my biggest complaint with the game. Uh, the way the story is structured, you just get tired of the game really quickly. There just simply aren't enough stages. There's a handful that are just plain obnoxious. There's one you may remember me playing on stream. Um, it's just this really long, like 15-20 minute escort dungeon mission that's just awful. It's no fun to play. That also is a segue into the other problem. They tried to add like more enemy variety. As you know, enemy variety has always been a weak point in Musou games, Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors especially. There's pretty much two enemy types, or three if you count the siege weapons. There's your normal cannon fodder, generic peons, and then there's the generic officers, and that's it. They tried to change that in this game, but the problem with it is they introduced some artificial difficulty. Um, Off-screen, being hit off-screen is very common in this game. It kind of reminds me, it gives me PTSD from the modern Ninja Gaiden games, or they throw the fucking incendiary shurikens at you from a mile away off-screen. You can't possibly like defend against. They controller read. The QTEs as well. A lot of them stick you in QTEs, which isn't really that bad. It's just obnoxious. I feel like it doesn't really have any place in games like this. Um, the game is already frantic enough. Playing it at a high level is pretty difficult, and to add that shit just kind of makes it annoying. It's kind of what QTEs tend to degrade to. They either fit in really well. Platinum games, as much as people hate them, their QTEs tend to actually fit in very well. You're given a fair warning. Whereas in Basara, sometimes you just get grabbed from the corner of the screen and you get stuck locked in QTE. And unless you have a tag partner, you have to sit there and dick waggle the analog stick to get out. It's just frustrating. It doesn't really seem like it really has any purpose. The formation enemies kind of go into my biggest complaint with the game. My biggest complaint with the game is, as robust as the combat system is, there really aren't any places where you can actually use it to its full potential. You may remember me playing Shingen's Dojo a lot. I know you guys got tired of that when I was actively playing the game, but there is a very good reason why I kept playing that map. That map is one of the only places where you can actually dig around with the tag combos uninterrupted. It's just there's too many stages in the game where there's a gimmick that doesn't allow you to do it, or you get hit off screen by the formation dudes, or there just plain aren't enough enemies for you to actually do anything on. It's the main reason why I got burnt out on the game really quick. Is just there's really only a handful of stages where you can actually have fun with the combat system. And in a game like this, where this Basara has pretty much become, if you haven't played the first two Basara games, it started off, it was basically Samurai Warriors with a little like Devil May Cry thrown in. It was nothing special. It was very much a Samurai Warriors clone. You pretty much played it for the anime cutscenes and the character designs and the voice actors. The combat was nothing special. And the third one, they did a complete overhaul, and they pretty much turned it into a legit like character action game that just happens to be a Musou game. So going into Basara 4, expecting to be able to play most of the stages and do crazy shit, finding out that that's not really possible or feasible is really disappointing. I would really like them to address that in a future game if we do ever get one. Apparently it didn't sell well. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Basara 4. I've talked about this on stream several times, but a lot of you guys don't make the jump over to my stream, so I just wanted to give my thoughts on it. I'm not gonna give it an arbitrary number rating, but I enjoyed the game. It's just the flaws that it has, the repetitive stages, some of the artificial difficulty, the QTEs, just kind of bring down the experience. It makes you get tired of the game. Even if you're a casual fan, the story mode is very bare bones. Some of the poster boys, most of the poster boys got 2, if not 3 story routes, whereas a lot of the B-listers get like literally one path they can take. It just feels half-assed. If you're not a big fan of the poster boys, chances are your character got the shaft in this game. And even then, even if they got a bunch of paths, you're still playing the same annoying stages over and over. But overall, I recommend the game. The game's pretty cheap. It's just come into it expecting to face those flaws. I came into the game blind. I didn't read that much about it. I was super excited. The other thing is a lot of the cut characters. Obviously, they gave Kobayashi and his crew like a shoestring budget to make this game on. That's probably why the characters keep getting cut and reintroduced over and over. I think despite that, they did a really great job with the roster. All the new characters are great. It's just I'd like them. I'd like Capcom to, please just give them a fucking budget that allows them to put the whole roster in. That's definitely one of the biggest downsides to the Basara series compared to something like Dynasty Warriors. In Dynasty Warriors, they've done cuts maybe 2 or 3 times in the entire series history, whereas in Basara, it's happened several times, and it's been around about 5 6 years. Less than Muso has. So I would like them to get to the point where they can actually just have everybody in the game. But the characters that they do have are very robust. It's just you want everybody in the game. The fact that they're unplayable, that you can see them on the maps and you can fight them, but you can't play them, definitely stings. That's definitely one of the biggest complaints from the more casual players. But overall, it's a good game. It's just got some serious flaws. I'd like them to address them at some point. But I will probably return to the game at some point. It's just all the aforementioned things that I mentioned just kind of bring it down, make you get tired of it really quickly, which in these games, you know me, I can dump hundreds of hours into these games. Most people finish the stories and shelve it, but the robust combat is what keeps me coming back. And the main problem is, like I said, most of the stages, don't really let you have any fun with that. So it just kind of makes you not want to play it at all. But anyway, that's my mini review of Basara 4. I just wanted to give you guys the rundown. I know some of you haven't imported it yet. I've been waiting for the price to go down. They actually just announced, or I think it's actually released already. They announced that there's going to be a version with all the DLC, which is another problem with the game. The final problem is they did actually support this series with DLC for the first time, but it's all useless garbage. There's the costumes, which are admittedly pretty cool. Some of them they put some pretty extensive work into, like the Dante costume and Sakon's Game of Death. But just the rest of the DLC is useless. They have music packs, and they have weapons that aren't even pay to win. You can get them in the game, and they have no elements on them. I don't know why they exist at all. I really would have liked them to support the game with some actual DLC, like some stages. I don't know what else they could have added. I don't know, maybe they could have made the NPCs playable, but it just feels awkward. I don't know why they would support the game with DLC and then just put nothing but filler in. It just kind of defeats the purpose to me. I know people complain about Koei's DLC practices, but at least they support the games after release. And most of it, at least some of it, is actually made after the game is finished and went gold. They don't hold all that shit back. I'm sure some of it, I've been hearing about Samurai Warriors 4 has like on disc 100 kilobyte paid DLC costumes. They're starting to do that shit too. But I would have liked them to support the game. The game just gets old fast, and having some DLC would have kept people more interested. But yeah, I'm going to end it there. Overall, I like the games, just got some problems. And yeah, if you want to get it, Amazon has it on sale for pretty cheap right now. I think new or used. Or you can get the DLC version, which will have the costumes and the music. The music is admittedly nice, but it's not something I'd want to pay for separately. So with that said, I will see you guys tomorrow, probably with One Piece or Dishwasher. I would like to get back to console videos as promised. Thanks for watching. Peace.